While you wait, why not consider a light reading or guided meditation? Close your eyes and listen carefully. Imagine you're standing on a beach, water gently lapping at your feet. But now you're sinking. What were you thinking? That's all the time we have this week. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 77 in the queue. Please hold. Here at Mantra, meditation is a big part of our daily healing. It's better than sitting around doing nothing. You are currently number 36 in the queue. Please hold. Not vibrating like you ought to be? Need a purpose? Tired of surfing through existential misery? Join Mantra today. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 25 in the queue. Please hold. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but do you really want to think all by yourself now? All I'm asking for is a little bit of faith. You know it's easy to believe. You are currently number 10 in the queue. Please hold. How spiritual are you? If you can live without caffeine, if you can be cheerful, ignoring aches and pains, if you can resist complaining, if you can understand when your loved ones are too busy to give you any time, if you can take criticism and blame without resentment, if you can ignore a friend's limited education and never correct him or her, if you can resist treating a rich friend better than a poor friend, if you can face the world without lies and deceit, if you can conquer tension without medical help, if you can relax without liquor, if you can sleep without the aid of drugs, if you can honestly say that deep in your heart you have no prejudice against creed, color, religion, gender preference, or politics, congratulations. You have reached the same level of spiritual development as a chinchilla. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 4 in the queue. Please hold. With recruits as young as 5, perhaps a career in our forces is the right path for your children. Mantra Military allows us to protect our truth from the darkness of enemy belief systems. You are currently number 3 in the queue. Please hold.
Welcome to Mantra. Daniel speaking. Could I take your Earth name, please?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very, 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 very special part 2 of Mantra, a 2-part Monsterhearts story. If you haven't joined us for the first chapter in our Slaughterfest, then I highly recommend you stop what you're doing and watch that VOD. This VOD will be here when you get back, and you will definitely have not regretted it. Also, bring your barf bag with you, as so have been told. Before we go any further, I would like to warn everyone, this is a heavier game than Gehenna Gaming's used to playing on here. So, yes, heavier from Monsterhearts, I should say. So really quick, I'm just giving content warning and trigger warnings for the following things: cults, cannibalism, gaslighting, religious horror, folk horror, sexual content, physical abuse, somewhat veiling of sexual abuse. Boom. If any of those stuff come up, am I missing some? Murder, patricide, blood, gore, a little bit of torture here and there, graphic descriptions, bugs, lots of bugs, vomit, no defecation though. We're staying away from that one. But yeah, it's gonna get gross, it's gonna get sickly, but it's gonna be fun. And at the end of the day, isn't that what matters? So cozy up with your loved ones, watch the screen. And just be very, very happy you're not in this story. Because if you were, you wouldn't be getting out alive. That's for sure. Where do we start our tale this time around? Ah, yes. With cast introductions, of course. Starting from the top and going around the overlay again. Please, players, characters, victims, introduce yourself. Ellie, you're first.
I don't know what order we're going.
It's okay. I'll call it out.
Hi, everyone. I am Ellie Collins. I am the storyteller for ATL by Night, and I will be playing Holly, the werewolf.
Ian.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ian E. Muller, otherwise known as Ravnos across Twitter and Discord. I am one of the co-founders of Gehenna Gaming and the VP of Strategy, and tonight I am playing Rhys Morrison. Normal, happy-go-lucky young adult who's totally not in a cult, totally not manipulating anyone, and is just very excited for the summer festival.
Festival of Rejuvenation, that is. Leslee.
Huh?
Fuck you, Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslee Everett, and tonight I will be playing Tanner Brayer, the Ghoul.
And then finally, Wes, you can speak now.
We're establishing a lot about our personal relationship over the internet, Nick. Hi, I'm Brother Wes, or Wes Franks, or just Wes. Any of those are fine. I am the founder and creative director of Carrying Comfort Studios, and for this evening, I'm playing Andy Walsh, the Faithful, a member of Mantra.
Now, entering our tale, I will just caution everyone once more of content and remind everyone, before the truth will set you free, it will surely piss you off. And please, don't pray, don't swear, don't call out to your God. He never asked you. As we enter into our first scene, we see a hallway, a long hallway within the Mantra campus. This hallway is ornate. Definitely different from the more sterilized looking rooms and hallways of the other parts of the campus. You see like rich mahogany inlays, cabinets, art and tapestries hung up from an older time, a different time. We see one Rhys Morrison, led by his 2 bodyguards, escorts, maybe even friends. Brother Vasquez and Brother Lowry. They lead him to the large double doors, noting to the 2 standing there, standing guard, to take a break, because they have arrived. Rhys almost carries as much authority as anyone else at Mantra. That is, except for the man behind this door. So, Rhys, you're faced with the door. What do you do?
Before I enter, I look over at Jamie and Sylvester, Brother Vasquez and Lowry. I believe our good friend, Brother Walsh, should be arriving anytime with a newcomer, Holly. Please keep an eye on her. Make sure she's comfortable. And then I will open the door and walk in. And as a note to viewers, I just used jaw snapping, which is a move for the Hydra, which is when you rally your many heads against someone who has wronged you, you and your heads take 1 forward action against them.
Jamie and Sylvester nod. Jamie not as quick as Sylvester drags him away. As you go to open the door, you can hear strange noises coming from the inside, which seems to infer maybe something's happening, that some sort of private moment between your grandfather and perhaps someone else.
Is this a sound that I am used to hearing from his quarters?
Oh yes, you've heard it many of times before. And as you go to open the door actually opens for you. And you see a girl. You recognize her. She was from the same graduating class as you. She actually just celebrated her 18th birthday yesterday, if you remember. Her hair is long, blonde, her skin pale. And you might note other things. Bruising. Her body, she's clutching her clothes, her hair is a mess, and she doesn't look happy to be here, or particularly proud. There's a look of shame that crosses her face as she...
I give her my signature blank smile, although there's a brief moment where a look of disgust crosses over my face. It's not aimed at her, and I just nod my head to the side so that she may pass and move on.
Brother Rhys, she says, hurrying along.
Mm-hmm.
Running
and
down.
I will. Mm-hmm. I just stride into the room and shut the door behind me.
She rushes down the hallway, her sneaker still in hand.
The look of disgust comes back across my face once I am behind the door.
The scene in front of you is something you've seen 100, maybe thousands of times since you were young and born. You remember stumbling upon something similar to this about 10, 15 years ago when you were just a young lad, 4 or 3. It scarred you back then. It just pisses you off now.
It's a waste of talent.
There's a bedroom. As you call it grandfather, he turns. It's his office, of course, but also his quarters. He's wearing this sort of red, luxurious velour robe. Your grandfather is an old and wizened man, definitely in his late 80s. Liver spots pointing all over his body, his hair straggling gray and white. He smiles at you with his crooked teeth. Ah, grandson. Yes, I'm sorry you had to, walk in on that. I was just teaching and doing ceremonies with one of the, new recruits.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm gonna kind of walk around the room, but toward him. And just kind of like trail my finger across the bookshelf, knock something over.
Yes.
Are you prepared for this evening?
Of course, that's why I called you here.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, grandson, what of the Herald? Has she fallen into place?
Everything is going forward exactly according to plans.
And the willing sacrifice?
All set.
Good. Very good. You see, as you can tell, my condition is deteriorating. This festival is needed. I need to regain a little bit of my vigor.
Mm-hmm.
The time is shortening between festivals. Rhys. Soon it'll be every year. I'll need something like this.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That looks about what kind of condition you're in these days. Tell me, if this keeps going yearly, how exactly are we going to deal with the public image of Mantra?
Rhys, you know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Pay off the council, a few politicians, the police force. They can make everything go away. They can bury so many secrets.
See, grandfather, the thing that you're forgetting, or maybe just not aware of, is that the internet exists now. And everyone with a cell phone and an internet connection is able to share information, which makes it a lot harder to cover up your fuck-ups.
He kind of, not snarls, but his eyes narrow as he places a hand on your shoulder. And you can feel the grip tighten, but he's old. He's withered. It barely feels like anything. He goes, listen up. Don't you speak that way to me. Don't forget who's in charge here, Rhys. Don't be such a little rat.
I'm going to reach out as if I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder. And then I'm just going to step forward, grab his face, lift him into the air, and slam his head into the ground and crack his skull open.
As you take a hold of his leathery old skin, you feel it like putty. You can almost feel like if you put enough pressure on it, you could reform, remold his face in whatever image you wanted it to. And you're strong, Rhys. You're young. You're virile. Not like this. A husk of a man left. He cries out with a, What are you doing?" before you slam his body into the ground, and you feel his glass bones break. You feel blood start rushing from the cracks forming along his skull, out through his nose and even his eyes, cuts forming on his head, which start to bleed out with an old crimson blood when he smells, to the point where his robe falls open, displaying the rest of his withered, nude body, which looks to be just a sack of skin and bones at this point. This is heresy. I'll have you burned for this.
And I just keep slamming his head into the tile ground over and over again until he stops speaking.
Do you smile while doing it, Rhys?
No.
It's systematic, though. It feels like clockwork. You grab his head. He protests. You slam it into the ground. Another bone breaks. Another vessel ruptures. His lungs give out just a little bit, and take that much of a weaker breath. Soon he stops protesting. But you keep going. You keep going, indeed. Because it feels good on a certain level, doesn't it, Rhys?
It feels good to finally get rid of this disgusting creature who's wasting his potential and his power.
Yes. Mantra's all about adopting one's inner divinity. And I guess at that point, that's divinity wasted. As you look at your grandfather, or what used to be your grandfather, which is now really just a sack of ruptured organs and bones, you realize that divinity has been lost.
My hands covered in gore from his head.
Yes. He'll begin to smell soon.
Brother Vasquez?
Jamie
Who I left by the door.
Mm-hmm. Jamie enters the room and steps back with a shocked look on his face. Brother Rhys, he doesn't even say brother. Rhys, what happened?
Shut the door.
And yes at once.
Come here.
He walks over.
I pull a signet ring off of my grandfather's finger and I just put it on. Earlier, we spoke of a weakness of yours, did we not?
Yes, we did.
Clean this up, and it will be forgotten. That is your atonement.
And he looks up at you and he goes, he won't fit in one piece down the chute.
Brother Vasquez, you are a intelligent and creative young man, are you not?
Yes, that's why you recruited me.
You will find a way.
And he looks, you see his eyes following to the walls of your grandfather's room where a ceremonial axe and shield from apparently your ancestors' times when they first hailed from the lowlands of Scotland. And he looks over at it. Yes,
You'll find a way.
sir.
And I will put my hand on his shoulder, squeeze it firmly. And later, we will discuss your future here at Mantra and how bright it looks.
Yes, Brother Rhys. I mean, Father Rhys.
Still Brother Rhys.
Of course.
Now, I will go clean up and then have our guests arrived.
They're pulling into the campus now.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Please let me know when things are squared away here. And I'm going to walk toward my grandfather's bathroom and wash my hands off.
You note as you enter the bathroom, the last thing you hear, other than a little bit of a silent whimpering from Jamie, is the sound of rustling metal and something slamming against the floor and the body over and over again. How do you feel, Brother Rhys?
Rejuvenated.
'Tis the season. And we'll cut the scene there, as we'll actually join another soloist. We cut just outside the mantra compound, and we see a lone figure. Tell me, Tanner, what have you changed into?
So Tanner changed into a fresh pair of shorts, more black tights, same black boots, but now she is wearing a black t-shirt and a blue flannel. Something about the blue flannel just really stood out to her when she picked it out.
Yes, it felt almost fitting. It felt nice to maybe Rebecca liked that. She always looked pretty in that blue color, didn't she? Oh, and she looked absolutely gorgeous when blue became stained with red. Tanner, things are beginning to feel a little bit more clear to you now. Mantra's the answer, is it not? It's the problem. It's the solution. Always has and always will be. And as you look at your skin, which you haven't really noticed to me now, but you've been absent-mindedly scratching at it, and your nails become dirty with dead skin underneath them as you feel and look that you've peeled them. You've peeled bits of your hand off, just absent-mindedly scratching them. You don't feel pain anymore, and it kind of feels good. But you do feel when one of your nails sloughs off your finger, adding itself to the soil and to the dirt. You wonder if that'll become the rest of you, if you don't get this problem of yours solved. Tanner, after eating Rebecca, you've had a realization. Maybe it's the feeling of Rebecca's organs sloughing in your stomach and dancing away at your digestive system. Maybe it's when you puke them all out just a few hours later. Or maybe it's the maggots and beetles whispering in your ear again. They've made home in your body, and you really can't bear to kick them out. They're like happy little visitors. In your house, their abode, home, and palace. What do you remember about your death?
I don't remember much. I woke up before the fountain of Donald Morrison early one evening, completely naked.
No. Let's go before that. Come on, it's all starting to come back to you, isn't it? You remember, it was a celebration. You know, you just graduated high school. You got into that fancy college of yours you wanted to. And you went out with your friends, right? What was the bar's name again?
Patty's, I think? Something like that.
Yeah.
Something silly.
This is an old bar where, like, kids under 21 can get served. No one gives a shit in this town. It's too small. And you're paying customers. And you went with some of your friends. Some classmates whose faces are just really scratched out in your mind. But there was someone there. He had a smile on his face. He was there with his other blue-shirted individuals. They were celebrating their own graduation. You didn't think anything of it when he offered to buy you a drink, did you?
Of course not. It was just a celebration thing, and we've been in classes since we were kids. Why would it be weird?
How about when you drank that drink, and immediately you began to feel a little woozy? You could feel whatever he had spiked in it working its way through your system. Slowly shutting things down. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough to stay lucid and awake during all that. They warned you about it, Tanner. They always said on Nightline TV, never accept drinks from strangers.
But he wasn't a stranger.
No, he wasn't. Who was he? Come on, you know the name.
The face is still so blurry.
His smile, the way he talked, the way his friends stood around him like he was the leader. It was an almost attractive quality to him, if it wasn't so horrifying what was happening to you.
It was Rhys.
Oh, yes. And he talked, and you were sure the conversation was great. And then it happened. You were being dragged to an unmarked van. No, they weren't going to do anything horrible to you. They assured you of that. Rhys said, it'll be over soon. It won't hurt you like that. It won't end like this. You're going to be chosen for something great. It's when you knew. You were going to die, Tanner. But with it, you were going to become something so much more.
I don't think this is what I signed up for.
You were going to witness eternity. And then you felt it, the pain, the sudden breath of your air being pushed out of your lungs. And you could see them all over you. The faces looking down at you. Rhys, Jamie, Sylvester, Rebecca. Well, guess one of them got their just fucking desserts, didn't they?
I told her I didn't like being watched.
And then you woke up, changed into this thing you are now. And I'll tell you now, Tanner, Rebecca was just kind of a little appetizer. You're feeling really fucking hungry now. As you look at the compound of Mantra, what are you thinking? What's in your head? And most importantly, what the fuck are you gonna do?
What's in my head?
What's in your head? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm hungry again. I'm thinking, one by one, I'm gonna see if I can find some people. I think maybe first, I'd like to find Jamie. He was so rude earlier. It was really unnecessary.
Yes. And you know, his smoke. Oh, it'll taste like the finest barbecue, wouldn't it? Just avoid the lungs. Who will be the second course, Tanner? Who's next on the chopping block?
I mean, I think it would have to be Sylvester. Just working my way through the roster.
Yes, he's not particularly filled with meat. He's a little bit more lean and lanky, but you're sure it'd be a great palate cleanser. And of course, every dinner needs a main course, doesn't it?
Of course. Of course it does. And I will certainly save him for last. Because I would like him to suffer. And think about what he's done. I hope this is what he wished for.
And he'll understand that sometimes you are what you eat. All right, Tanner, what are you going to do?
So I think she's gonna try to start stalking into the compound.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I'm going to gaze into the abyss and use the sphere de corpse.
Ooh, can you explain for the listeners and viewers at home what that does?
So when I gaze into the abyss will share with you its hunger. Treat that hunger as one of your own until you satiate it and mark experience when you do so.
All right. Roll plus dark, 2d6.
Okay, that's a 7.
The abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you're going to get your answer nonetheless. As you kind of focus and your eyes roll to the back of your head, spinning around in your sockets, you see... You see bodies. You see Rebecca. You see everyone that you just envisioned. And you can see a fine steak. And what do master chefs do with fine steaks when they prepare? Oh, they carve them up. They make them bleed. They make the juices flow. They prepare them in the most delicate of ways. Your hunger is not just that of flesh. It is the act of violence. It is the blade going across their bodies. Now, you only have a switchblade in your back pocket, but the same switchblade you took from Rebecca, isn't that right?
Of course. I better put it to good use.
It's not a fine knife or a butcher's accessory by any means, but with enough force and a little bit of determination, it should be perfectly fine.
Of course, it can still cleave skin from bone.
You should know. You've done it. The compound's on high alert, Tanner. However, it looks like they're all preparing for something. They're all running around. They're all rushing about. And it's pretty easy to sneak through when 2 more guests are entering the compound. 2 more guests that have the eyes of everyone. As you spot Andy and Holly driving in. How do you feel about Holly, Tanner?
I like Holly. Holly's really nice, and she reminds me of how I used to feel of a normal girl before I became this cretin starved for flesh.
You know if she's here, that means nothing good's about to happen.
Precisely. And I'm here to stop it.
As our ghoul lurks and stalks forward, let's switch to Holly and Andy. The car is driving ever so slowly as it comes up to the gate. The doors... Who's driving, first off?
Holly. It was Holly's car.
Holly's car.
Holly's
Yeah.
car. Holly, you see the gates of Mantra, and there are gates. This might be a campus, but this is definitely a high security campus.
It's totally a cult.
You see the wrought iron open up with efficiency, and you see 2 Mantra members flanking each side, beckoning you to drive through.
I'm just gonna drive on through and give them my sunniest wave.
How are you feeling right now, Holly?
Determined.
Oh, yeah. And what about you, Andy? How are you feeling?
I'm eager to show Holly the campus and everything, but boy, am I beat. I feel real tired.
Yeah, you're really tired. And Holly's kind of making you feel things you never thought you could feel before.
Yeah.
Stirring something up inside you. Like a dirty paintbrush to a beautiful can of white paint. It's staining you.
I better wash myself then, I guess.
Of course. Holly, the mantra members would direct you deeper into the campus and show you a parking area where you see a valet of some sort.
I actually, as I'm driving in and looking around, I want to use my heightened senses real quick.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 plus your dark stat.
Yeehaw. That's going to be 11.
Awesome.
So I can ask you 3 questions.
Exactly. And you
What
also
is my
take one
best-
forward.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so taking one forward just means whenever you roll your next roll, you're going to get 1 plus another bonus of 1.
Okay. Let me notate that. So first question, what is my best escape route?
So, definitely not where you came in from. You notice that the gates are high, but they're not like barbed wire or anything, and they're like bars, so you could probably easily climb it. And you see one of the areas is next to a heavily wooded like forest. You sure if you took off into that direction, you could lose them pretty easily.
Okay, I'm gonna notate that one. Sorry to the audience, I have a clacky keyboard.
Music to my ears.
Let's see here. What's their secret weakness?
Oh, their secret weakness is like any good firm organization. It's all about hierarchy. They can't do anything without someone giving them orders. They're like little puppets, little dolls, little toys, little children that need like a teacher to tell them how to do things.
Okay.
You sure they're not going to be good with a little chaos in there? They probably won't know how to handle it.
And what poses the biggest threat to me?
I mean, that is easily the one thing on your mind. That's the easiest question. It's Rhys.
Yep.
Rhys is the biggest threat. Not because
just need to confirm.
Yeah, not because he's dangerous, you feel, but because maybe in a sense you could almost feel like that you would have liked him in another life. Situations were different, maybe.
Maybe in a life where we're both streamers.
Yes. Such a life that would be, but wishes are for fairy tales and children, and not for you, Holly. Not for you.
Okay, so I'll continue driving in as I take my assessment of the area.
It's well made, it's well taken care of. The whole compound is shiny with curved architecture that looks like some modern artist took their hand to it. It looks welcoming and inviting. It looks everything a cult probably should look like in order to get its members. It looks more of like a modern day like science center than it does a compound.
And I'm just gonna turn to Andy and be like, where do we go from here? Do I need to take you like to your place? I don't know where I talk to Rhys.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, you really want to see Rhys, huh? No, yeah, I can lead
He's gonna
you.
help me with the real estate.
Yeah, I can lead you right there. There's a nice path that we just kind of go down, and it takes us to the main building, everything like that. Yeah, you can get another tour another day.
Yeah, it's getting kind of late.
Yeah, late.
But I can start an apartment search bright and early, so...
Yeah, and of course you got the festival tonight, so you don't want to miss out on
and
the
we have
celebration.
plenty of time to hang out now that we've, like, met and gotten to know each other.
Yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Let's go ahead and go.
Okay.
Where to first, Brother Walsh?
Well, of course, Andy's going to step out of the car and he's going to kind of catch himself. He's a little bit woozy. He's kind of got like gazelle legs, baby gazelle legs, but it's fine. It's a long
Andy,
day.
are you all right?
Yeah, sorry. Today was busy, you know. A lot of walking, a lot of talking, getting everything ready. So, you know, just have to...
Well, here, let me help you. And I'm going to go over and just, like, loop his arm over my shoulder and kind of help prop him up. Just show me where you need to go.
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh, physical contact on the faithful. That doesn't do well. Go be 2d6 plus hot, please.
Yeah.
Me or Wes?
Oh, you.
Okay.
Because Wes is feeling... Well, Andy is feeling hot under the collar. Maybe.
I don't know if I've ever had someone touch me before.
In pandemic times, I would not be surprised.
Whew. It's been a long...
7.
All right, 7. So, Andy, you can either choose to give Holly a string on you, which will let Holly get a little bit of leverage later on whenever she chooses to spend that, or you can choose one of the reactions.
I'm going to go ahead and give Holly a string on me.
Ooh, excellent choice. This will in no way or form bite your ass in the future.
Not at all.
No, it's gonna be great.
Amazing.
And he's gonna go, I don't know what people would think if they saw you carrying me in, but I appreciate you. I'm just...
Oh, is this like a celibacy thing?
Oh, no, not at all. No, it's just, you know, not much of a tour guide or anything, or a guide, you know, having you lead me in.
I mean, I feel like maybe you'd look worse if you fell on your ass in front of everybody.
That's a good point. Yeah, we're just gonna go right up there. We can go through a side door instead of the main door.
Okay. And I will walk him that way.
And I'm going to take her to a side door that leads to the dorms.
Okay.
That cuts through all the like the science center and everything like that. It bypasses all of that, and it just goes directly to the dorms and the offices and everything.
As you take her into one of the side hallways where the side door is located, you open the door and are met face to face with Jamie. He looks and nods. Brother Walsh. Or not Jamie, I'm sorry. Sylvester. Brother Walsh. Miss MacKenzie.
Sly.
Oh, probably not the best to say that in stranger company, but I guess MacKenzie has been here before. Well, in the city. Town.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was looking at the architecture. It's beautiful here.
Oh, thank you. That was actually my grandfather's doing.
Oh.
He helped Donald build this. And he kind of points out.
Who's Donald?
Donald is well, he's the leader of Mantra. He's the one that started this all. He's Rhys's grandfather.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Got it. Thank you.
Sylvester, don't you have someone's windows to be lurking into, or somebody to be bothering somewhere else?
I don't know, Brother Walsh. Can you roll me a shutdown, please?
I most certainly
There's
can.
2d6 plus cold for anyone watching at home.
Why am I so hot?
Because the what's it called? The born again Christians are always hot, I guess. Like I was gonna say the virgins are always hot. I don't know. What it is. I got an 11, but I have a -1 cold, so I got a 10. Okay, that's still a maximum roll. So yeah, you can just choose one from below. Jamie doesn't, or not Jamie. Sylvester doesn't have any strings on you, so.
I want to give Sylvester a condition.
Cool. What are you gonna give Sylvester?
Lapdog.
Oh. Oh boy.
He already had that.
He had your thing, but now he's a little extra thing.
Yeah, you give Sylvester the lapdog. He looks appalled, and he chokes up. Like 9 times out of 10, Sylvester's usually more of the smooth talker. He's able to kind of usually retort back at you, but he just kind of grits his teeth. And maybe it's because Holly's here that he doesn't try anything else. But he goes, at once. And then as he whispers something to you, Andy, as you pass. Something that Holly can actually hear because Holly has her heightened senses because she's a fucking werewolf, and I say so. You hear he just simply says, "Don't take her to Donald."
And I'm just gonna glare at Sylvester and go, "She's going to Rhys." And then, "Come on, Holly. We don't need to be hanging around here much anyway, so."
Okay.
As you walk past the posters with the mantra symbol and people doing the sign and standing looking happy doing community work that has been put up, kind of like, looks like almost like recruiting posters, you look back at Sylvester, who's just standing at the door to the side door, like looking at you all before you around the corner, and then you hear the door shut in the distance.
Andy, what's with the pose thing? Like, it looks kind of like a corpse, but also like the corpse of a bowler who got buried with his ball.
Gee, that's a good one. That's the first time I've heard the bowler one. No, it's well, how they explain it, and if you hang around a lot more, I'm sure Rhys or somebody else can tell you, but I don't mind telling you. It's to represent taking everything into oneself, making a basin to fill and bring into yourself.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like
We could have just done this, but then that just makes us look like we're, I don't know. This is a lot cooler. That's what I think. I think probably maybe Donald was hanging around. He was like, "What looks cooler? Does this look cooler, or does this look cooler?"
Yeah, it's just like, it's like the old I think it was Confucius that said, like, a bowl's most useful when it's empty.
A bowl's most useful when it's empty.
And in saying that, I would like to use my string on Andy.
Of course. What are you gonna do?
I want to give him the condition doubting.
Ooh. I'll just add that to the list. Oh boy.
Fucking, I'm catching these things like pogs. Oh, man.
Yes. How are you doubting, Andy? What do you feel?
There's a lot of stuff, like, it's taking me back. I feel like I'm seeing how Sylvester was acting and everything. Don't take her, like Donald, like, why would that even come out of his mouth? And just how Rhys has been acting today. And maybe just hanging out and spending time and talking with Holly has started to have things start to surface. Memories that have been pushed back deep and dragged away have now been started to rise to the surface a little bit. Confucius, I haven't heard somebody quote Confucius in a long time.
I just did a paper on it, so it's like on my mind.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah.
I have a question for the MC.
Yes.
When do I have to be with a person to use a string on them?
Nope. You can use it whenever you like.
I want to use a string on Tanner.
Of course. Amazing. What do you want to do to Tanner?
I want to give Tanner the condition defiant.
Oof.
Dang old Oprah with the conditions over here.
And Tanner is definitely feeling really fucking defiant right now.
And to round out my Oprah, you get a string, you get a string, you get a string, I want to put one on Rhys.
What would
Smitten.
you like to put? Oh, it's maybe it's the werewolf pheromones, or You know, maybe it's just how you present yourself as the innocent and like naive wolf pup that you are. But yeah, I can see how Rhys would be pretty smitten.
And so walking with Andy, just how do you like it here? Like, I won't repeat anything you tell me.
Like a secret?
Yeah, just like what do you really think of here? Because like if I'm gonna hang out here, give me the Yelp review of here before I start hanging out.
Well, if I'm being honest, it's nice. The campus is nice. Nice rooms. Food's great. It's lonely though.
Lonely?
Like, we're all here together, but kind of apart.
You don't really have anyone you can connect with.
If I'm gonna be honest, and he kind of like leans against like the wall beside one of the posters. I always find myself distracting myself doing things for Rhys, but I kind of feel like a piece of me's gone. I don't know when.
Yeah, that's like working retail.
I've been there, or have I?
Hey, and she's gonna grab both of his shoulders to kind of steady him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, tell you what.
Yeah.
When I find my first solo apartment, you and me, we're gonna play Munchkin and we're gonna like make fondue and pizza rolls.
Munchkin.
And we'll just have a fun night of playing Munchkin. How about that?
I haven't played Munchkin in forever.
Yeah, I'll refresh the rules for you.
Andy, you haven't played Munchkin in forever. But you have played it before. Who did you play it with?
This is weird. And like Andy's gonna like stand up from the wall and kind of like walking, like kind of like grab his head and go, oh God.
And ibuprofen, I probably have one in my purse.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just I feel like there's something there. It's just right there. It's I just gotta pull it out.
Oh, like something on the tip of your tongue?
And it's like I can like see somebody and I can see it, and you said Munchkin and pizza rolls and your fucking hair and everything. It's so familiar, and I can't he's gonna like punch the wall because he's frustrated because he can't remember, and it's just right there. He says, fuck!
Rhys, you can feel the connections in your head starting to waver and falter, especially to Andy. Like someone is soaking the rope and preparing to unravel it.
I'm going to gaze into the abyss on Andy and see where he is.
Go ahead and roll gaze for me.
And I'm just gonna, after he punches the wall, I'm just gonna be patting his back like, hey, it's okay, it's okay. You had a concussion. That shit can't be easy to come back from. Just don't push it. You'll make yourself feel worse if you push it.
So weird. I've never had something so close like that yet so far, and then I've never done anything like that. That's so...
It's okay. Concussion recovery can take a long time.
I have a 11.
Beautiful. And for anyone at home that didn't watch last episode, but I don't get why you wouldn't have, because that would just be silly.
Would you like me to read the ability?
Of course.
1,000 eyes. When I gaze into the abyss about someone, I can see their whereabouts in real time through one of the eyes of my many heads. On a 10 plus, I see and hear them clear as day. On a 7 to 9, everything is hazy. And Andy is one of my many heads, so...
Oh, you're in his head. You are full being John Malkoviching him. just looking through like a
Does anything
theater.
about his eyes change for me? With my heightened senses, would I notice any change in him once Rhys starts looking through him?
You might note that his eyes, his pupils might dilate just slightly. Unless, Rhys, you had another effect in mind.
No, that would make sense.
But not only are you seeing through Andy's vision, you also see it through Sylvester's, who's looking through the peephole in the hallway to your office in one of the many secret compartments of the compound.
Sylvester. Brother Lowry. Tisk tisk. I'm going to, once I see what's happening with Brother Walsh and Holly, I'm going to leave my office where I have set out some fantastic brochures and paperwork on local real estate, and I'm going to head in their direction. A short walk down the hall.
Real quick, as we're here, when you were describing the building, what is the general material that this building appears to be made out of?
It's modern, so a lot of like that, like plaster, drywall, definitely like metal bracings.
Okay, like a lot of fiberglass and glass, not a lot of wood.
Not a lot of wood.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't ever lose my temper like that, and
That's okay.
that's a poor first impression. That's a poor first impression indeed.
It's fine. You have a concussion. I'm sure that's extremely frustrating. I've got my own stuff that makes me snap when I don't want to. It's fine.
It's not you, but if anybody knows I did that, then I could be in trouble.
And at that
You
moment,
get in trouble for being mad?
Rhys walks into view.
Oh, hi, Rhys!
It's a pleasure to see you again, Holly. Brother
Hi,
Walsh.
I came by for the real estate brochures.
Fantastic. And I look at the hole in the wall, and I look at Brother Walsh, and I look at his hand, and I look at Holly, and I look back at your hand, and I'm like, Brother Walsh, what happened?
I was like on the verge of something, and I was trying to remember it, and I think I pushed myself too hard. Like you said that I shouldn't, and
Well, I mean, you will only recover your memories from the accident if you do, but you have to be careful. And I will walk forward, and I will gently take his hand and look at it and make sure it's okay. And I'll put my hand on your shoulder. You should go have this looked at and make sure there's no damage. You know where the medical facilities are. Please take care of yourself, Brother Walsh. It is very important.
oh, you should go ahead and roll hot for that. You're taking my hand.
Oh, I was planning on it. That would be a. Wait. Oh wait, my hot score changed. Huh? That's a 9.
Okay. They can either choose, Andy, to give Rhys a string, or choose one of the reactions.
Andy is going to get embarrassed and act awkward. And when you grab him and touch his shoulder and everything like that, he's going to like kind of squeeze your hand in return, and then realize that you're wearing a ring that you weren't wearing before, and then kind of look at it, and then look at him, and then go, right away, Brother Rhys. And then he's going to turn and trip over his own feet, and then like catch himself and go, oh, sorry.
Carefully, Brother Walsh. Carefully.
I'm gonna. I should probably get something to drink and something to eat. I haven't eaten all day.
Oh,
yeah, eat something.
please. I'll have something sent to the infirmary so that you can have your hand looked at and replenish yourself.
Thank you. Have a great day, Holly.
You too. We'll talk again.
Yeah. And he's gonna turn and he's gonna do shonen anime, rub the back of his head as he walks away.
I do that in normal life. That's not all shonen anime.
Or do we do it because of shonen anime?
Probably that, let's be honest.
A little bit of both.
So, Rhys, sorry, I know it's late and I know you guys have the festival. I just wanted to get some of those brochures from you.
Absolutely. They're in my office. Give me one moment, please. And I pull out a cell phone and I hit speed dial on it. Yes, please. Could you send some of Brother Walsh's his dinner to the infirmary? He's having his hand looked at. There was a minor accident. Yes, thank you. Also, will you please have someone come to dormitory B and repair some drywall? Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah,
follow me.
let's go.
And I will lead Holly to my offices.
I'm going to, at one point, where he turns, get distracted for a second, to not walk with him, turn around real fast and like grab onto his arm and be like, whoa, sorry. Since he is smitten with me.
Are you attempting to put the moves on Rhys in order to charm him even further?
Not yet.
Okay.
And I will get to my office. I will pull out a key, unlock the door, and open it and gesture for you to go inside.
Is it a key
Ooh,
or a key
locked
card?
office. Fancy.
Is it a key or a key card?
See, Rhys is smart. And Rhys knows technology. And he knows that a key card can be hacked. So it is a key.
I am going to I would like to roll again for heightened senses in this new situation, going into an office alone with Rhys.
Of course.
Okay.
So roll your plus dark.
Okay, and I have the 1 forward.
Yep, so you can use that. So that'll cancel out the -1 from your dark. So you can just roll 2d6 and give me whatever the result is.
Okay. Whoo! 12?
Ask 3 and get another +1 forward.
Yay! What is my best escape route?
Rhys, are there any windows in this place?
There are, but this is on the second story.
I mean, for Holly, that doesn't really necessarily matter. So probably that's your best escape route.
Okay. What is his secret weakness?
Rhys?
Question for the MC. Is this something that she can immediately perceive or something that is actually true?
It's instinct, so it's to make sense of a charged situation. So probably something that she can perceive at this point.
He's not a big guy. You know you could overpower him.
And let's see. What poses the biggest threat to me?
It could be Rhys. However, it could also be whatever ruckus is going outside right now. As we're going to take a moment and switch scenes. Tanner, as you're stalking the lands and grounds around Mantra, you see a sight that is very interesting to you. You see a somewhat disgruntled and tired-looking Jamie dragging along a big bag, large, like, plastic trash bags, heading towards the, looks like there's an on-site incinerator. Mantra's all about self-sufficiency. He needs to have a way to dispose of their trash.
Tanner is gonna follow him until he gets kind of close, because I'm assuming the incinerator is kind of like far away from everything else. Until he gets close to the incinerator.
He's too preoccupied and shaken with whatever actions and is dragging behind this somewhat medium-sized bag, like just filled with stuff. And the noise. Oh, the noise doesn't sound so pleasant. It's like dragging an old piece of meat in a wet paper bag across a concrete floor. It squelches and it tears and it smells something fierce. But it smells familiar to you. And it smells kind of tasty even. Well, the way that stale potato chips are somewhat enjoyable when you have nothing else.
Do I smell fear on Jamie?
Oh, yes. He is very scared about what has just happened to him.
Cool. So I think when he's approaching the incinerator, I think Tanner is going to sneak up behind him.
Fuck. What the fuck happened?
And she is going to grab him by the arm and pull at his arm and hopefully rend the arm from the socket.
All right, I'm going to ask you to make 2 rolls.
2.
1, I want you to roll to keep your cool because you're attempting to sneak around. I'll let you take a +1 to this because Jamie is hella preoccupied right now.
Okay. That's a 7.
Okay. So, on a 7, I'll tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you could choose to back down or go through with it. You're in an open area. There's no stealthy way to do this. You can surprise Jamie, but you're going to get loud and you're going to get messy. Are you okay with that?
I don't think she wants to get messy yet is the problem. We're not in the place to get messy because it's going to make it harder to creep around the grounds if I am covered in blood.
Well, definitely loud. So what I'm mainly saying is that people will know something's going on.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. So you go ahead and roll to lash out physically for me. So you're going to put a 2d6 plus volatile.
That's a 12.
Oh boy. You grab at his arm. And he's surprised and he looks at you and goes and tries to tug it back. And like kind of looks at you and goes, his eyes widen. No. And he kind of tries to get his grip out again, but you just begin to slowly pull. You know,
at a loss for words are we now?
No, you had Rebecca. No, stop, let me go, please. I'll tell you anything, please. No. Stop. And you take another step back.
I don't think she takes a step back.
Or do you pull more?
Pull more?
Yeah.
I think she stops pulling when he says he'll tell her anything.
Just let me go. Just let me go, please.
What? Tell me anything then. What is going on here?
What do you? What do you want to know? We're preparing for the ceremony.
What ceremony?
The Festival of Rejuvenation. And I imagine like halfway through you might pull it a little bit more in order to like
Yeah. I want him to speed up.
The Festival of Rejuvenation. It's rejuvenation. It's a ceremony. It's mantra ceremony.
What do I have to do with this? What did you do to me?
We needed to choose someone to be the herald, and you were it.
The herald? What are you talking about?
You're pure.
Pure? Not anymore.
It's the Monster said we had to choose someone that had that was scarred, had a rough childhood, had been through a lot. Okay, and you were the perfect one. Okay, but look, you're up and you're okay now.
do I seem okay to you? And she's gonna pull him harder. And I think this time just grab him at the throat.
You can
Like
hear,
pull him into her and grab him by the throat.
yeah, and as you pull, you can hear like bones starting to crack, the cartilage starting to separate as you slowly, like one of those like torture devices that they would like tie people to and just slowly crank. I forget what the official name of that is.
The rack.
The rack, yeah, like a rack. You're just, and you grab him by his throat, and your fingers, one of them just not even skin on anymore, that's been sloshing off, and you feel something crawl out of your hand. A long, ickling, many-legged centipede crawls across Jamie's face and nips at his eye. And he is crying, and you can even smell. My God, he just shit himself.
You sad, sad little boy. Did you even know what you were getting yourself into?
We so we can live forever, and you live forever too if you go through with it.
Well, maybe you picked the wrong person. Oh no, she's gonna rip his throat out because she has heard enough.
Give me one more lash out physically, please.
I would love to. That's an 11.
Awesome. Do you do it with your hand or with your mouth?
I think she rips his throat out with the hand that is clenching his throat. Yeah.
You feel your muscles expand and contract, and your bones almost break from the amount of force you put on them. As your grip that has literally bent iron before just easily pinches through his windpipe and just grabs a hold of all the fleshy bits, and just you can feel his esophagus around your tiny but vice grip like fingers, and you pull. You rip his throat out with the most painful and slow of execution. As you can see, like the bits of flesh stringing about like a horrific violin, and you almost feel the sense to pluck them and play them. But now is not the time for a concerto. Alas, Jamie has sung his last dirge.
I think before she leaves Jamie, she definitely eats some of Jamie.
Oh,
Like, she
yeah.
definitely does not leave him untouched. I think she definitely eats what she has in her hand. She definitely, like, pulls him closer to her and definitely, like, eats the parts of flesh that she has left exposed around his throat. Probably kind of, like, leaving, like, only the bones and, like, a couple of tougher bits
Yeah.
in around his neck.
And as you drop the bits of flesh, your mouth attaches to it like a leech, and you can feel the bugs leaving your body as they begin to help and join in on the feast. As you snarl and you feel the warm and raw, it's like eating a really juicy hamburger. You know how it breaks apart and it fills every crevice of your mouth? To the point where your cheeks almost pop up comically. And you just swallow it down because it's so delicious. You take another bite, and a second bite, and a third bite, and you dine on this buffet that is Mr. Jamie Vasquez, sorry. And when you hit bone, you feel your tongue slide against the raw, blood-covered in guts of the bone, sampling what you assumed if you put it within a pot and boiled it could be the finest of soups. Maybe Mads Mikkelsen was right. There are 1,000 different recipes you can make with the body. And you drop him unceremoniously to the ground.
He deserved nothing more. But I do want to check what is in his sad little bag here.
It's what used to be a person, you assume. A body, old, wrinkly. You imagine it probably tastes like some sort of beef jerky being out and aging for so long. But they're body parts that's flung across haphazardly in the sack, chopped very rawly and roughly apart, with no skill, no precision at all, like a child that just found a hacksaw and going to hell out against the log.
What a waste.
Yes. You look over and you kind of compare Jamie and what's in his bag, and you know these are what happens when the tools of the trade are in the hands of a skilled culinarian.
Most definitely. Well, I can't discern anything from what is in the bag, right? I just can tell it's an old
person has died.
An old person that's in pieces.
Yeah, and you could see remnants of a bloody robe, but for the most part they're naked. You can even see Jamie still looking back at you in his death stare.
Oh, I continue to close it. I close his eyes. I'm big on closing people's eyes after I kill them. Yeah. Feels polite. You know.
The eyes that once looked down upon you, well, one of them, have now been closed by you. Step 1 of your revenge is complete. Now it's time for step 2. And I think that is the perfect time to call our first break of the night. We're going to take a 5-minute recession, and then we will be right back with Mantra, a 2-part Monsterhearts story. I hope you enjoy, and please, get a snack. 5 minutes.
Come.
Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 80 in the queue. Please hold. While you wait, why not consider a light reading or guided meditation? Close your eyes and listen carefully. Imagine you're standing on a beach, water gently lapping at your feet. But now you're sinking. What were you thinking? That's all the time we have this week. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 77 in the queue. Please hold. Here at Mantra, meditation is a big part of our daily healing. It's better than sitting around doing nothing. You are currently number 36 in the queue. Please hold. Not vibrating like you ought to be? Need a purpose? Tired of surfing through existential misery? Join Mantra today. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 25 in the queue. Please hold. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but do you really want to think all by yourself now? All I'm asking for is a little bit of faith. You know it's easy to believe. You are currently number 10 in the queue. Please hold. How spiritual are you? If you can live without caffeine, if you can be cheerful, ignoring aches and pains, if you can resist complaining, if you can understand when your loved ones are too busy to give you any time, if you can take criticism and blame without resentment, if you can ignore a friend's limited education and never correct him or her, if you can resist treating a rich friend better than a poor friend, if you can face the world without lies and deceit, if you can conquer tension without medical help, if you can relax without liquor, if you can sleep without the aid of drugs, if you can honestly say that deep in your heart you have no prejudice against creed, color, religion, gender preference, or politics, congratulations. You have reached the same level of spiritual development as a chinchilla. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 4 in the queue. Please hold. With recruits as young as 5, perhaps a career in our forces is the right path for your children. Mantra Military allows us to protect our truth from the darkness of enemy belief systems. You are currently number 3 in the queue. Please hold.
Welcome to Mantra. Daniel speaking. Could I take your Earth name, please? And how can I share my knowledge with you today? Your journey with Mantra begins now, and I'm pleased to be able to share the beginning of your enlightenment with...
What? I need a second get over there.
Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 80 in the queue. Please hold. While you wait, why not consider a light reading or guided meditation? Close your eyes and listen carefully. Imagine you're standing on a beach, water gently lapping at your feet, but now you're sinking. What were you thinking? That's all the time we have this week. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 77 in the queue. Please hold. Here at Mantra, meditation is a big part of our daily healing. It's better than sitting around doing nothing. You are currently number 36 in the queue. Please hold. Not vibrating like you ought to be? Need a purpose? Tired of surfing through existential misery? Join Mantra today. Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 25 in the queue. Please hold. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but do you really want to think all by yourself now? All I'm asking for is a little bit of faith. You know it's easy to believe. You are currently number 10 in the queue. Please hold. How spiritual are you? If you can live without caffeine, if you can be cheerful, ignoring aches and pains, if you can resist complaining, if you can understand when your loved ones are too busy to give you any time, if you can take criticism and blame without.
Hello, everyone, and we are back with Mantra, a two-part Monsterhearts story. Now, if you're just tuning in, why did you wait so long? Why aren't you here? Don't you want to be enlightened? Don't you want to glimpse the face of God?
Please, join Mantra.
Mantra today. And if you haven't, and if you have been keeping up with us, then congratulations. You've now ascended to what we at Mantra like to call Ultra. And it's time to go Ultra in the final part of Mantra. Before we continue, I would like to reiterate our content warning. If we can get the bot to reiterate that as well, that would also be excellent. There are themes, a lot of dark themes in Mantra, including, but not limited to, cults, cannibalism, gaslighting, religious horror, folk horror, physical abuse, and slight veiling and referring to sexual abuse, sexual content, drugs, graphic descriptions of gore, blood, violence, torture, bugs, lots of bugs, vomit, bodily fluids, and maybe a slight hint of defecation, but not described. I'm not into that. Sorry, guys.
And patricide.
And patricide. And maybe even regicide? I don't know if that would apply here. I don't know. Are cult leaders kings? Maybe. Poo.
Kingslayer.
Don't forget the poo. Kingslayer. Hashtag. But yeah, if any of that is not your cup of tea, but you still want to watch, may I suggest using the open finger option? Or maybe you watch the stream.
Horror movies as kids.
Exactly. Or maybe watch the stream through the crack of your door with the volume turned all the way down. Who knows? Hopefully we terrified you today and made you feel thankful that you have such potential that is not lost. Please accept your inner divinity. Are we ready to continue, friends? Let us continue. This time, we're going to focus on Holly and Rhys. Continuing the conversation that we just briefly left off of.
Rhys looks distracted for a moment.
Everything okay?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you okay? You
Yeah,
seem
no.
like something's wrong.
I thought I heard something from outside, but it's
Do
probably
you need to check on it?
no. It's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. Here, and I motion towards the desk, which has actually has a bunch of pamphlets and like a manila folder sitting on it. I pulled out some stuff that you might be interested in. I figured I could get it ready while you were on your way here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, just go ahead and grab all that. And do you have any questions? Anything else I can help you with?
Let me grab these real quick. And she's going to go to grab the brochures, but at no point is she showing her back to Rhys. She's always facing him. So this place is really cool. Questions not about the real estate. Like, what do you guys do here, like on a day-to-day?
Oh, I mean, it's basically everyday life. People go about their business. Some people have jobs in town. Other people have jobs here that they take care of. Some people go to school. They do, either advanced learning or like pre-college prep, or continued education. And yeah.
So, with all due respect, of course, I'm just trying to understand, because Andy speaks so highly of it here, and he said I should hang out more, so I'm just trying to get a better idea. So if it's like regular life, then why be here?
Well, we also offer, I guess, the term we use for it is enrichment programs, but it's more like spiritual and psychological guidance and counseling. We have daily meditations that are optional, but we encourage. There's seminars on bettering oneself. So think of it kind of like a self-help. It's like a retreat almost, but for as long as you want.
I went on one of those once. We like sweated in a tent in the desert for like 4 days. It was miserable.
I mean, we have central air.
Well, like we were sweating on purpose.
Oh, I mean, there are certainly times where sweating on purpose is fun. But no, it's not. We don't enforce any sort of spiritual beliefs or practices.
Okay.
I mean, here, and he walks by you. It kind of circles around behind you.
And she's turning the whole time.
And he opens a drawer on his desk, but he also reaches over and touches your arm. And he reaches in and he pulls a kind of like a pamphlet out, like one of the bigger brochures, and he turns and he hands it to you. And it's just about like life at Mantra.
Oh, okay, cool, thanks. Is there like is this all the reading material I need?
Yeah, basically, yeah. You can find out more. I'm happy to answer any questions if you want to.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, if you want to hang around.
I have like one really big question, if that's all right.
Happy to answer any questions you have.
And I am going to use my last string on Rhys. Tell me everything you've done.
Now, Rhys, what Holly is suggesting is offering you experience to tempt them to do what you want to do. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but you do feel very tempted to do so.
He's going to slowly trail his fingers down your arm, and I'm going to attempt to turn Holly on.
Instead of answering her.
Oh no, I'm getting
statement?
there. And he says, "Why don't you have a seat?"
Roll me 2d6
I'm
plus hot,
good.
please.
11.
Holly.
That's my.
They're going to. Rhys will gain a string on you because you rolled over an 11, over a 10, and you have to choose a reaction for below. Either you get embarrassed and act awkward, you promise something they think you want, or they promise something that you think they want, or you give yourself to him.
Act awkward.
Awesome.
That's what she does best.
There you go.
Just I'm really sorry if I gave you the wrong impression.
No, not at all.
My mom says I do that sometimes.
Not at all. You had questions. I can answer them. And I gesture towards the chair on the other side of the desk, away from him.
Yeah. And I go to sit down and go, so about that thing I asked you.
Mm-hmm. Everything I've done.
Uh-huh.
Such as be raised by mantra and carry out the wishes of my grandfather.
That's what was done to you. What have you done?
I have been a patient follower.
That's an emotion. What have you physically done?
Today, murdered my grandfather.
Why?
Because he abuses and wastes his powers here. He abuses people, and he doesn't deserve what he has. Didn't, I should say.
And what have you done to Andy?
I have helped Andy.
That's your opinion. What have you done to Andy?
I have helped Andy find himself.
That's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What have you physically done? And I'm not going to ask again.
I have not physically done anything to Andy. Mantra took advantage of Andy's weakened willpower at the loss of his brother.
How?
He was in a state of grief, and my grandfather manipulated that.
And with your grandfather dead, where does that leave you?
Like I said, I have tried to help Andy find himself.
That's not an answer. Where does it leave you if your grandfather is dead?
Oh, so separate from Andy.
Yes.
I control Mantra now. Or I will.
And how do I stop you?
Who says you want to? And
I know I do.
My string on you. And give you the condition head of the Hydra.
And seeing as he was standing in my way, before you said that, because I'm still learning these powers, because you were standing in my way, that is going to make my darkest self come out.
Yes.
Because you were defying Holly. So that is my...
Read your darkest self.
Is that my apex predator
You
thing?
can activate that as secondary to your darkest self. It's a separate thing you can do. But for the people at home, because this is the first darkest self in the entire game, please read your darkest self.
Okay. So you transform into a terrifying wolf creature. You crave power and dominance, and those are earned through bloodshed. If anyone attempts to stand in your way, they must be brought down and made to bleed. You escape your darkest self when you wound someone you really care about, or the sun rises, whichever happens first.
And it's gonna be a long fucking night, isn't it, Holly?
Oh, yeah.
And read out Apex Predator for me, your move that you took from the beast skin.
You can shed your human skin to become a furry monstrosity. In this form, the most harm you will ever take at any time is 1. You cannot turn someone on and can roll with volatile to shut someone down.
Tell me, Holly, describe, how does transforming work for you?
So the second that he is being argumentative, the scratching on her skin starts getting deeper as she starts clawing off her flesh, ripping as fur is underneath, and she just proceeds to continue clawing off all of her flesh for the wolf form to come out of her body.
It is like a surprise. It is like a grim, macabre surprise. It's like one of those pillows when you, with the glitter, when you put your hand across it, reveals the other side. It is beautiful. Rhys, it almost looks like unwrapping one of the goriest but most satisfying to watch presents of all time. As Holly is not simply Holly anymore. You see muscles and you see fur break forth from her skin, from her Holly suit, as it were, because Holly the human it's just the mask. But Holly the beast, Holly the creature, Holly the werewolf, that is the true Holly, standing around near 7 feet tall, furry on 2 hind legs, unless you want to be a quadruped, but I imagine this is like...
Oh no,
yeah.
biped.
Strong muscles, the inverted legs standing on them with this mighty, mighty mane, and just yellow amber eyes staring back at you. And Holly, what do you want to do to Rhys?
I want to grab Rhys by the throat and put him through his desk.
Roll to lash out physically, please.
What do I roll for that?
2d6 plus your volatile.
Oh yeah, it's because it's the wolf form.
Yep,
Okay.
and you have a +1 from your heightened sense, do you not?
Yes.
So you're gonna add another +1 to that.
Oh no!
You also
And I have
have
one
+1.
forward from.
Yep, which is
Do you
why I
want
was saying
the-
that. Yep, that's the
Okay.
+1 that you got from that. So we roll +3 total.
12.
Boom.
That was a 9 plus 2 plus 1.
Awesome. Rhys, you are lifted. It's tight, and you've heard of monsters like this.
Oh, I'm
Would
just
you-
smiling.
Yeah, but do you smile when she puts you through the desk, breaking apart the wood as you take... I'm gonna say you take 2 harm here out of the 4. It
Perfect.
hurts. It feels like
Mhm.
you feel the wind knocked out of you. You may have broken a rib, even maybe collapsed one of your lungs. It feels horrible as the bruising. It's you laugh and you laugh. What do you do, Rhys?
I lay there. Wow.
I am going to. After I have done that, I am going to take my other hand and plunge it into his chest.
Rhys, do you let it happen, knowing what the consequences might be?
Yeah.
Holly.
And so I plunge my hand in, ripping out his heart, ribs, sternum, whatever muscle surrounds it, and consume his heart.
Roll me out one last lash out physically. As your claws go forward and you dig into Rhys, who doesn't even make a sound but laughter. It is disturbing the amount of fucks Rhys does not give. As you tear and you whip away skin and muscles and flesh and blood. It is like tearing through putty. You could finger paint the entire office with the amount of power you have now. Rhys erupts forth like a ham on Thanksgiving, like a volcano even, and you see his heart and it beats, but not for long. You reach and you pull it out. So easily. It sits in your hand, Holly. It looks so beautiful. Life looks beautiful, especially in the moment right before death. And you take a bite, sinking your teeth into it, separating the vessels and the blood as you tear into the first chamber of the heart, ripping, just sloughing off everywhere. You've eaten cow heart and you've eaten other animal hearts because, you know, you have to consume every part of the animal as it was taught to you by Dexter and your parents from back home. And it's tasty. Not because it's delicious, or because it's nutritious, or because you really wanted to do it. Maybe because of the man who it belonged to. And as you look at the body of Rhys, who looks like a autopsied victim with his skin and ribs kind of like sternum breaking forth, like an unholy altar pedestal, looking like a literal chest burster blew out of his chest.
And I'm going to go lock the door.
You lock the door.
And since Holly is going to assume no one knows the grandfather is dead and no one knows Rhys is dead. And I'm going to look outside the window, and what do I see?
When you look outside the window, you see a figure. It's getting dark now, and even though the lights are on, you see a figure skulking forth, breaking into the compound. And you see the remains of a body being left there. You look at it. It doesn't look like a pretty sight.
So when we came towards Rhys's office, did we pass like a opening foyer?
Yes, in the dorm area.
Okay, and in this form, am I capable of speaking?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to pick up Rhys's corpse. And I'm going to exit the room and go to the foyer, or go to the landing above the foyer, and throw Rhys's body into the middle of the foyer. And for anyone that comes out, she lets out this deep roar that says, "Your leader was weak!"
You throw out and you scream, and you wait for the screams, you wait for the terror, and you wait for everything, all the chaos to erupt. But what answers it is something more terrifying than you could ever imagine. It's silence. The dead of night. No one is in the foyer. In fact, you pass no one on the way here. And you can smell no one around. But you can hear is in the distance is chanting. Rhythmic.
And Holly... Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Rhythmic, almost alien-like chanting.
Holly is going to quarter Rhys's body in the foyer. And run for the fence into the woods.
All right. And we're going to cut really quick to Andy. Andy, you're in the infirmary. A lot of things are happening to you. And you're trying to recover, and they pass up your hand. And they tell you, one of the nurses says, "We'll be outside, actually. We're going to start the festival ceremony. Brother Walsh, you should join us when you're ready," she says before departing.
Okay, yeah. Do you have something I can drink or eat or something like that?
Of course. And they bring you, they've set out like a water bottle, Mantra brand, their own personal bottled water, and some sort of like deli meat sandwich that they've prepackaged for you, and a little bag of Sun Chips.
Oh, great. I love Sun Chips. That's a Wes. Wes loves Sun Chips as well, but so does Andy. Andy is going to open the Sun Chips and kind of like pick at them, and is going to absently bite the sandwich.
What's on your mind, Andy? Tell me. Just between you and me. Don't think of the others. They're not here right now. They're off having their own chaos and revelry and fun. You're the only one that really gets it. Even Rhys doesn't get it sometimes. You do. What's in your head, Andy? What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, you know,
Oh, dear God.
now that I think about it, today's been really weird. And
Yeah, it has.
like Rhys typically doesn't like to have hands-on approach with people. He typically lets me mostly he lets Sylvester or Jamie take care of things, but like he's been taking like a really like personal interest into Holly, and that kind of bypasses everything that we've been told. I mean, and to think Donald kind of does that too. Not that I've ever seen Donald, but like I hear it's like, oh, Donald wants to see you. And like Donald's never seen me before, and like I go to all the meetings, I've done all my therapy, I know all the tenants, I do everything, I dress the right way. I mean, heck, I even keep my hair up even though I want to let down sometimes.
Yeah. Why hasn't Donald seen you? Why are you not good enough? They're obviously all weaker than you. Jamie didn't look too well for the wear after he met Donald. He was too weak.
Yeah. And Sylvester's not even that good. He doesn't even remember stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
And he just keeps on eating the sandwich.
Andy, how does Holly make you feel? About yourself specifically.
Well, Holly makes me feel like myself. And you know, she kind of follows the tenants too without even doing it. She asks questions. She even had that Confucius line that kind of really fit in more with what we've been preached, that like no matter how much we try to fill ourselves, we're always still going to be room for more. We should always try to consume more and to fill more. But it kind of on the button about how it's empty. Almost like she was here on purpose. And the more I think about it, she's familiar.
Andy, you feel like you're looking at a mirror at yourself. A mirror that's showing you the version that other people want you to see, but maybe not the true version of you. You have two options. You can fall back into it and accept your identity for what it is now. Or you could shatter the mirror and all the repercussions that come with it.
He's going to take one last bite of the sandwich. He's going to go, Tanner was here, and Tanner looked rough afterwards. More so than before. None of us have ever looked rough after what's happened. And Tanner was supposed to be a part of us, but Jamie was an asshole to Tanner, and Holly... You know what? No. You know what? No. Fuck it. That's right. I said it. Fuck it.
This isn't going to be an easy task. I want you to roll to keep your cool. But not only are you rolling at a... Before you roll, remember, not only are you rolling at a -1 because you're cold, I'm also going to give you another negative because you're ahead of the Hydra condition.
Okay.
And if you go to take this roll,
Mm-hmm.
It could be your salvation, it could be your judgment, it could be your damnation. But are you going to make this roll, Brother Walsh?
No true follower of mantra would not be a follower of mantra if they didn't take a risk.
Let's peel back the layers of your mind and see what lies dormant in your cortex then, Brother Walsh. If you're -2, what do you roll?
So I rolled a 9, but with a -2, that is a 7.
You have a choice. You can break through it, Wes. Break through it, Andy. You can make your own mantra, but your mind's going to take a toll if you do it.
Things have been too fucking lax around here. Yeah. Time to tidy up here.
You look at your brain, you look at your mind, and like Martin Luther, you hammer in your new ideals, your new tenets upon the doors, the mental doors of mantra. You remember everything. You remember that you were a bad kid. You remember that you fell into it after your brother Myers disappeared. But you start thinking, maybe that was because of Mantra in the first place. You don't know. Maybe it was because of his own fucked up decisions. But whatever led you down a dark path. Your parents, they told you. They said, we're going to send you to courses. We're going to make you a better person. It was that or military school, so you did it. You read the pamphlets, you listened to the mantra, you accepted them into your heart, but you didn't really believe in it. You thought it was bullshit. Not only did you thought it was bullshit, but you texted a friend about it. You start to think maybe. But not everyone was that bad in it, though. Rhys, he might have lied to you. But he also protected you, didn't it? He protected you from Donald. Donald, now that you realize, he must have been a sick fuck. You ignored it up until then, but you remember now, he's just the biggest sinner as the rest of them. And you think about who you texted again, you go, that's right, you and Holly were friends, weren't you? Do you remember, Andy? Do you remember? You and Holly were great friends. And then she left that one summer and you promised you'd see her again. You guys would hang out and you would indulge in everything. You played Munchkin again and you would read comic books and drink sodas until the world spiraled out of control because that was the way you could say, fuck you. It was beautiful. But Mantra has its place in your heart. It's a good system. It's a good system if you could just perfect it. And maybe Holly could help you. Andy, I would like you to enter into your darkest self, and please, for the people at home, read what that is. And proclaim it like the preacher I know you are.
The judgment of the heaven and the divine is upon them. I see sin and corruption all around me, and it's my mission to stamp it out. Burn the wicked and cast down the prideful. No longer will they mock me for my beliefs. I'll create hell on earth to save their souls, but I only escape my darkest self when they repent and someone forgives me of my wrongdoings.
And there's a ceremony outside. What will you do now, Andy?
Andy's going to take his glasses, he's going to fold them, he's going to put them in his pocket. And remembering something that Rhys told him, and we're not religious, but we do take lessons from all over. And the last time someone truly great who wanted to change things saw something wrong happening in a place that was perfect, that should have been a place of worship, a temple, they turned over tables and they whipped out the wicked. So he's going to grab some cables and he's going to bundle them. He's going to rip them out with power strips or what have you. He's going to roll his sleeves up. And he's going to make a fucking change around here. And he's going to cast out the wicked. And he walks out.
Let's begin.
And before we go, can I, since I did have myself a nice little snack, a juice box and everything like that?
Yeah, you can clear drained.
Perfect, thank you.
And a question I should have asked, because Holly is at the fence by the tree line. Yeah. Is there anything she's seeing on the grounds? I realized the chanting you said outside.
Yes, so I actually will get to that in a second. That's
okay.
why
I just wanted to make sure,
yep.
Holly, like that.
Oh yeah, no, for
Holly's
sure.
watching.
You see what the fuck's about to happen.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna go to Tanner. Tanner, you're in the grounds. You hear the chanting. And out steps a familiar someone. Holding a gun. You see Sylvester. Come on, Tanner. It's time for the ceremony. You've had your fun.
Have I? Have I had my fun? Have I had my fun? I don't know if I've had my fun. I think you've had fun. I think you and your freaky little friends have had plenty of fun. I'm sick of it. I'm tired.
Oh, come on. It's almost time for dinner. And you're the guest of honor. And he aims a gun at you. Now either I can put you down and wait for you to come back later, or you can follow me right now.
I got stabbed earlier, and I was fine. I don't think bullets are going to be able to put me down either.
You can't feel pain, you stupid, stupid little girl. But if I put enough bullets in you, your bones will still break and your flesh will still tear apart. I'll wheel you into that ceremony in a wheelchair if I have to, but I don't want to.
Storyteller, how far away from me is he?
He's a good, like, 10, 15 feet.
Okay. What if I go willingly?
He'll keep you at a distance and he'll,
What if but I want you to promise me something. I'll go willingly if you give me something.
What do you want?
I want your hand.
Done.
Yeah? I can have your hand? Right now, though. I want that first. Pretty, please? Like, I'll go willingly. You just have to give me your hand. I'm still really hungry. This is kind of unfair. You're basically starving me right now. You're being pretty cruel.
Brother Rhys, give me the power to do the things.
I don't know if he can hear you right now.
The serenity to accept things I cannot change. The power to change things I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. And he... I can't do it here, obviously. Go to the ceremony, and you can eat it right off the bone.
I want it now.
That's not in the goddamn agreement.
I didn't sign an agreement.
Well, fuck, you're in it now.
I didn't agree to anything.
Shut the fuck up, Tanner. Shut your fucking mouth.
I asked for one fucking thing. Are you fucking kidding me?
Get the fuck outside. I'm not fucking answering. Asking
You're
this again.
outside.
And he takes a shot at you. Take a harm as you feel a bullet go right through your shoulder.
Okay.
You don't feel the pain, but you feel the absence of flesh. You feel the whizzing of it go by as it goes straight through, tearing through, smashing against parts. And you feel your one shoulder, like your one arm, not to really move anymore. Like it's been...
The one that got shot?
Yeah.
I can't move my arm?
Like, you can't move it. It like, physically, like, you can't move it as well. You might not feel pain, but he was right about something. Your body still has some sort of limits to it. But when you eat something, that'll probably heal back up.
That wasn't very nice.
Now, by putting another one through your kneecaps and dragging you, or are you gonna go outside?
Just give me your fucking hand. I'm not even
God.
asking for much. Come on, you just shot me. How am I gonna fix my arm now? Like, look it, and she definitely like waves her arm around, and it's like limp. Like, come on, that's super unfair. I know you want me to go walk in front of a bunch of people with one arm. That's so cruel of you. You're worse than Jamie.
I'm not worse than Jamie.
Yeah, you are. You're super
You
mean.
ate Jamie.
Yeah, whatever.
And you ate Rebecca too.
Okay.
Alright, she was a fucking bitch, alright? I agree with you there.
I mean, you're all kind of fucking bitches if you ask me.
No,
but,
whatever. You fucking took the drink from me, didn't you?
We were classmates. Wait, it was you? It was you.
Of course. I danced with you at the winter formal. Well, of course, who else could it be? Who you think put your name in the lottery for it? Tanner.
You
Oh,
in the lottery for what? For this?
I chose you to become part of something greater. You're
You
about...
did this. You did this to me?
I mean, it wasn't just me. Obviously, we had
You did this to
Jamie,
me.
Rebecca, Rhys, hell, all of Montreux. They were all down with the idea. Plus, you're the only one with enough fucked up baggage to classify for it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I don't think I'm fucking
I
kidding
cannot
you.
believe you. You were always the fucking smarmiest asshole I have ever met.
Well, Toots, look where that got us. I'm with the gun, and you're rotting half to death. If you don't go out there, you're gonna keep rotting. Even if you fucking eat me here.
I
So
would
what-
rather fucking rot, and she's gonna run at him. Can I run?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, he's gonna take another shot. You can go ahead and
Yeah,
latch
that's
out
fine.
physically if you want.
Yeah. I'm fucking done with him.
Oopsie.
Haha. That's an 11.
Alright, as you like collide with him, he puts another bullet through you, take another harm.
Okay.
As you feel this one enter in one of your lungs. But you don't breathe anymore. It doesn't matter. It might slow you down for just a little bit. And you're kind of struggling, and you hit him to the ground. You both fall and kind of like roll around. But you're heavy. You're on top of him, and he's trying to get the gun to your face. He's trying to go for the kill shot, essentially, on you, because he knows he's got to end this quickly. You fucking bitch.
She wants to grab the hand with the gun and just bend his wrist, like full, straight up, just wrist backwards, snap that, and then pop the hand. She wants to full remove that hand. She wants that hand. I asked for her hand.
Fuck. And you
Then-
twist and you turn, and it's, you know, when you like twist something tighter and tighter and tighter until it finally gets to that thinnest piece, and you just rip it off. It's like ripping off a skin tag. You ever do that? You just tug at the flesh and tear until it peels a little bit, and then like a balloon. Oh boy, there goes his hand.
All I asked for was your hand. I'm so sad I had to take it. And she's gonna lean in close to him and take a big bite out of his hand, so he can hear the crunching of bones in his ear, his own fucking bones.
Oh, the palm. It's a rough. Did you take his right or probably his right hand? It's his right
Probably, yeah.
hand. It's all like lean, like kind of muscular meat. It's not very chewy or gourmet. Probably gets a lot of use. But you eat through it. It doesn't taste as good as, you know, Jamie's smoked throat, but it does well.
Mhm.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. You eat it like, it's like raw. It's like Kobayashi in here.
I'll go down there, but you're not gonna get to see it. No. You're fucking done, buddy. And she's gonna reach back and rip out his intestines.
You go through, and you reach your hand for the kill shot into Tanner's stomach. Oh no. Oh no. Which way are you going?
You just said the wrong name.
Yeah, that's all.
Wait.
You said I reached into my old stomach.
Oh no, Tanner. You reach into
Sylvester's stomach.
Sylvester's stomach. Yep.
And then whoop. Rip those out and then right into the fucking mouth.
It's like ripping
pasta.
open. Remember I said ripping open like a present on Christmas? It's kind of like that, but it's like that putty. It's like wet pudding, just, and it's just this slimy. It's the intestines slip out of your hand at one point. Yeah, it's like sausage, and oh my god, it's like butchering a carcass. It's delicious. It's something. It's everything.
Sylvester, if I had realized you were gonna taste this good, I would have eaten you sooner.
Fucking. And then he breathes his last breath as he gasps for air. The fleshy mounds.
Now Tanner is pretty bloody.
Yep.
Yeah, she did not give a fuck with this one. She is bloody.
Yeah, as you tear into the intestines, you can even Disgustingly enough, you could see that Tanner had ham for his last meal. Looks like some sort of deli sandwich. The remains of it, you could taste it. It's disgusting. You don't like human food anymore. Maybe the ham's good. Everything else is shit. Literally. In a certain sense. But it's just... Oh, that's the last one. The last execution. The butterfly pinned down the wall. And as you look at Sylvester, his arms across, missing a hand, his legs kind of together, and it's almost religious. It almost looks like the pose of the crucifix. Well, they said Jesus was in agony for 3 hours. I guess Sylvester was only in agony for 3 minutes. Probably
yeah, she's gonna close his eyes and then whisper at him, "Fuck around and find out." And that's it.
And I imagine with still like fleshy bits hanging from your mouth, you see the ceremony. Do you walk out towards it? They're calling towards you, and you know there's still one more piece.
Oh yeah, and I'm assuming that's where Rhys is.
It has to be. He's the one that leads us all, doesn't he?
This is his shenanigan. So yep, she's gonna walk on over.
Looks like meat's back on the menu. Holly, you find yourself escaping out to the woods and seeing this
Oh, she's hanging on the fence.
Yeah.
Like she's just on the other side, like watching to see what's gonna happen.
And all our stories begin to converge at once. All our point of views, everything leading up to it. As Holly, you see Andy start to walk out. And Andy, what do you have in your hands again to reiterate for the viewers?
A bundle of cords that looks like a cat of nine tails. It's like power strip cords and cords from the infirmary and stuff that have been wrapped around. That looks like a cat of nine tails. And his shirt is unbuttoned, his sleeves are rolled up, his hair is down. I'm wearing my glasses because I can't see dog shit, but his glasses are in his pocket, and he's got a wild look in his eye, and he's just muttering to himself as he's walking directly towards the ceremony.
What does the ceremony look like for Holly?
You see what you assume to be the most senior members of Mantra. Everyone but the kids, honestly. All around. Clothed in white, almost like handmade robes. With flower crowns and markings. And you see as they all begin to disrobe. And they have marked their entire bodies in weird runic languages and strange symbols and circles and lines, as if mapping out Da Vinci's Renaissance man himself. Like a spiritual map of the body almost on each of them. And they all join hands and sway their heads and begin chanting, and some people begin to lose themselves. And you see in the middle of the circle is like a pedestal, so a dais with a symbol on it. As if they're waiting for something. Waiting for someone.
And Holly, through her growls, is just, I knew it was a fucking cult. And so when Andy walks out, her eyes are completely fixed on Andy because he does not look like himself. And the entire point was to help Andy be himself again. And it looks like he's not doing that.
Some might say I'm the most I've looked at myself in a long time. Tomatoes.
Bad Boy and Bloodthirsty are two different appearances.
Yeah.
And Walsh, as you pass through, you see Brother Sylvester ripped apart to shreds, He's not dead. Not just yet. As he mutters to you. And points to himself and points to
Sylvester? What's the second tenet of mantra, Sylvester? He's going to put one of his loafers on Sylvester's neck and just kind of not even looking at him and just kind of put the foot down. What's the second tenet of mantra, Sylvester?
He doesn't even cough. I don't even think. It's just... He can't speak. He can't speak at all. But the chanting... The chanting is getting louder. Oh, it's getting louder.
Andy's going to wipe his shoe on Sylvester's shirt and just say, fucking useless. And start walking towards the ceremony.
With my heightened senses for this, as I was already watching Andy, did I hear that go down?
Yes.
What do I roll for composure?
Keep your cool. Please roll your cold.
Okay, it's my cold.
Yep.
Yeehaw! 4.
How are you feeling in this situation, Holly?
Furious.
At who? In particular?
Andy. And I am gonna come up over the fence and take a run at Andy to backhand him across the yard.
Roll to lash out physically.
Yup.
As Tanner starts to come into view.
Okay. That is 12. And as I hit Andy, I will fall out of transformation as he is someone I care about.
It's almost like instantaneous as your skin reverts. It's a painful process. The hair is burying itself back into your body, revealing the fleshy undertones, the teeth forcibly going up until they're normal human length again, the eyes lowering. It is like taking literally the clay mold and resetting it. Your bones break back into place, the cartilage spilling out all over your body and maybe even onto the floor. You're bleeding heavily. You take a harm as you do this, but when at the end of the day, you're back to what you are. And Andy goes flying into kind of towards the crowd. Andy, you take 2 harm from this as you feel yourself get very hurt, and the crowd grabs a hold of you to catch you and shuffles you inward.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely a misbehaving bitch smack.
Yeah. You feel them, Andy, and in your moment of weakness, they pin you to they place you upon the altar and begin ripping away at your clothes, drawing the symbols on your chest.
Get your fucking hands off me!
Mantra,
Get your hands
mantra,
off.
mantra, mantra, mantra.
And I'm going to shove whoever's like pinned me down, trying to draw symbols on me. I'm going to shove them off of me.
You shove one, but you can't shove them all, Andy.
Holly, still caring about him, is going to run towards the people.
They begin to swarm at you, and Tanner, you see all this happening. What do you do?
So where is Tanner? So is she like just walking towards?
Yeah, you're at the
all this is
outskirts.
happening?
So if it's like the group and everything, there's Andy in the middle of it. And then there's Holly trying to kind of break through the crowd, and then you're on the outskirts of that.
I think Tanner would also want to try and force her way through, but she would be kind of like I think she is very furious right now. She is very furious. She's been played by this organization that she wanted nothing to fucking do with. And she just wants everything to stop. So I think she's going to let out a growl and say, "Everybody stop."
Everyone does stop. Everyone stops. But not because of your growl. They stop because of something else. Tell me.
Welcome to Mantra.
We see
You are currently number 80 in the queue.
we see Sylvester's body
Please
begin
hold.
to convulse.
Please hold.
It convulses into violent contractions.
While you wait, why not consider a
He's
light
dead
reading
though,
or
isn't he?
guided meditation?
There's nothing left of him
Close your eyes and listen carefully.
except for his mouth that
Imagine
separates
standing on
and
a
he
beach.
unfurls an unholy scream,
But now you're sinking.
answering yours, Tanner.
What were you thinking? That's all the time we have.
And we
this
see
week.
a hand reach out of Sylvester's mouth, defying all space, time. And we see it distend more, his jaws, his teeth breaking and cracking as this thing begins to emerge from it. This person, this fully sized human,
Here at
as
Mantra,
everyone chants and looks on in horror and dignity and pleasure and every other sentiment I can think of, all of you watch as something is birthed from the remains of Sylvester.
you are
Embiotic
currently
fluid
number 36
slopping to the ground
Please hold.
as this nude figure steps out, approaching the crowd.
Not vibrating like you ought to be.
And everyone,
Need a purpose?
if you haven't already,
Surfing through
gains the head of the Hydra condition
Join Mantra
as they
today.
see the form of a perfectly fine, but naked Rhys.
A question, MC.
Yes.
You are currently number
Since
20
I
in
have
the
primal
queue.
dominance and take a string on everyone I harm,
Mm-hmm.
do I have a string on Rhys still in this new body?
I would think so, yes. By the base rules, you would.
I know it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Give me a second.
Do you really want
Firstly,
to go all by yourself?
I want to take a string on
All I'm asking
Andy
for is a little bit of faith. You know it's easy
to
believe.
give him the condition Pious Paladin.
All right.
All right.
I like that.
Sick.
She wants you to be a good boy, but also wants you to kill bad people.
Please hold.
I like that.
And then on Rhys,
If you can
going
live
to give
without
Rhys the
upheaval,
condition
if you can
ashamed.
resist ignoring aches and pains, if you can resist complaining, if you can understand when your loved ones are too busy to give you any time,
Rhys,
if you can take criticism and blame without
that maneuver,
resentment,
you've never done it before, but
if you can ignore a
Everything
fault
worked to plan.
regulation and never correct his error,
Fuck.
if you can resist treating a rich friend better than a poor friend,
Oh shit.
if you can face the world without lies and deceit, if you can
Huh,
conquer
good.
tension without
Good.
medical help,
Hi.
you can relax without liquor.
Don't
If you
Ugh.
can
Hi
sleep
us.
without
It
the aid of
hold on.
drugs,
Stop for a
if you
second.
can
First of
honestly
all,
say that deep
and I'm going to
down
snap my
without
fingers and
prejudice against
break
creed,
Donald's brainwashing on
religion,
every member of
gender
Mantra at the same time.
preference, or politics,
the members of Mantra
you have reached the
begin to
same level of
cry out in
spiritual
pain
development as a chinchilla.
and begin to fall to the ground, convulsing for a second before becoming still.
Welcome to Mantra.
Sorry, I needed to fix that because he was a fucked up old man. Secondly, I'll just hold up my hands. I walk over to Andy.
Holly's gonna shout out as he walks across. For fuck's sake, cover your dick.
I grab. Is there like a tablecloth or anything I can grab to clothe myself?
Yeah, you could grab
Sylvester's clothes.
Yeah, grab Sylvester's clothes. He won't be needing them anymore.
I just
His
like
pants
wrap
are
something around
okay.
my waist. I just wrap something around my waist. I'm like, all right. And I will kneel down next to Andy. Andy, hey, you all right?
Fuck you.
It's not my fault. I was trying. Listen, my grandfather. What?
You didn't try. Yeah, you kept me from your fucking pervert old grandfather.
Yeah, so he couldn't. Listen, there's a reason he wanted you. You have a gift, I guess. You can fix Tanner.
I'll fix Tanner. I'll fix all of them.
Well, everyone else is fine now. I fixed.
No, that means I gotta fix you too.
Mm.
Broke this. All right, you made me go to hours and hours of sitting there and listening to you and listening to others just tell me the same old dribble, while a lot of these shitbirds out here were off running off, giving each other hand jobs, or off smoking cigarettes when I wasn't allowed to do anything. You said I had to be good, I had to be the best, and you just let them go around like a fucking hypocrite.
Because
like a Pharisee.
If my grandfather had his way, you would be standing where I'm standing right now. And she would be dead. And I point at Holly, and she would be dead. But instead, I'm here. You're going to be fine. And so are they. And I can't promise. I can't say I did it the best way I could have, but I did it the only way I could figure out in as short a span of time as possible.
You made me do things.
I didn't make you do anything. They did. I tried to stop them. Just like I tried to stop them from killing her. And just like I did stop them from killing her. Point at Holly with the last one. You don't think that they knew you texted her?
I need somebody that wasn't just fucking wearing a fucking blue shirt. Who just didn't just fucking smile at me.
Sometimes the only way to take a system down is from the inside.
I don't know if I can trust you because you've lied before.
Here. Let me see if I can help. I'm going to leave. Everyone here will be fine. I ended whatever power my grandfather had over them. I don't know exactly what it was. You can fix what's wrong with Tanner. And I will leave.
No. You don't get to leave.
Why?
You had a part in ruining all these lives, and you're just going to walk away and not assist in helping these people put it back together? Maybe they'll be fine, but this is your responsibility.
All of the resources of Mantra belong to Andy now.
And you're going to undo what you were a part of.
I already did.
You don't just snap your fingers. You help these people put it right.
You can't just abandon people after killing one old man.
I didn't. Like I said.
You're still abandoning them.
I don't care if Andy's the leader now. You were still a part of
I didn't
this.
say
And
leader.
it's your responsibility to fix it.
I didn't say leader. Andy has all of the resources of Mantra now.
And you are still a prick that was a part of it. So you're going to hang out with these people and help them feel better.
Them of all the shit that my grandfather did to them?
Fucking go ahead. Or help them find new jobs. Or help them at least somehow understand.
How am I supposed to do that now?
We don't need him.
By sticking around.
And just being a sore thumb because I have nothing now.
I said we don't need him.
Your fucking heart again? Stick around and take responsibility.
Wait. What, Andy?
We don't need him.
You don't need him.
We don't need him.
You don't need him.
We don't.
But he is still guilty.
He is.
And guilty people pay penance.
They do. They do.
I thought getting slammed through a table and having my heart ripped out and eaten was good enough, but okay.
And I'll do it again.
Well, that was only, that was only one of us,
The question remains up to Andy, though. Andy, do you forgive Brother Rhys?
As I harmed Andy, I have a string on Andy. And I am going to give Andy the condition non-forgiving.
Rhys, can you sit down, please?
He just sits down cross-legged on the ground.
Holly, I need you to go wait in your car.
Absolutely. I'll text you tomorrow.
Thank you. Welcome back home.
You too. And I will leave to my car.
Tanner? We just met today. But it was nice meeting you. Can I ask you to sit on that podium, whatever the fuck it is?
Yeah, I just want... Can I have one thing?
Yeah, what do you need?
Rhys, can you hold out your hand for me? Please, it's just one thing. It's one last thing.
I prefer not.
I'll spend a string if I have to.
A string is a temptation, but it is not an assurance.
I know. I'm gonna spend a string.
I will spend both of the strings I have on you.
Damn it.
No.
Counter strings.
No.
Damn it.
Andy's gonna hold out his hand instead. Take it.
Not you. Absolutely not.
Tanner, take it.
No.
Bloodthirsty.
Don't pull on to
Well,
it.
Andy does smell pretty fucking good.
Tanner, hold out my hand.
Okay.
And Andy's going to move in front of Tanner. And he's going to look at Tanner. I'm sorry, Tanner. I'm sorry for what they did to you. It should have never happened. And no one should have let it happen. And I couldn't have been there to stop it. But I'm going to try to do something about it now. I just need you to know that you can trust me, okay?
Okay. I guess.
I would like to spend a string on Tanner to give me +1 forward towards them. And then I would like to use my move Breath of Life on Tanner.
Read the second paragraph.
When I lay my hands on someone recently dead, and I don't have the condition drained, I don't have to roll dark. They come from back from the dead, and I choose one.
There are options. What are those options you can choose?
Leaning into my conditions, someone nearby dies.
And who is that someone?
Someone else could have helped you, and they didn't. And Andy's going to look at Rhys and say, nobody gets out clean.
Do you choose Rhys?
I choose Rhys.
Tanner, you have many thoughts that go into your head. One of them is the full memory of what happened to you. As Andy begins, you feel light intersecting with every bit of your moral being. You remember Tanner. Or not Tanner, you remember Sylvester. You remember Jamie. You remember Rebecca. And you remember Rhys. Sitting in the front seat. But there was one other person there. Your eyes lock with Andy, who watched you walk out the door and simply turn back to his meal like nothing happened. No one gets out alive. No one gets scot-free. That's the truth of the matter. And as Tanner, you feel the blood within your body begin to flow. The bones start to realign. The colors start to come back to your face, slowly and fading over time. And the hunger that was once there, the hunger that had settled in your stomach, is gone. But then the realization sets in. Everything you've done, everything you did, and you can't stop your body from rejecting it. As you heave and you hoe and you vomit on the floor of the compound. You vomit it all. Mixtures of breakfast, of the dogs, of Rebecca, of Jamie, of Sylvester. Tanner, you spill your guts quite literally to the floor. Until there's nothing left. Until all you have is your purged soul. And Rhys dies. It comes like a whisper. Like a cool sleep. And he drops. And to close out this story, this mantra story, Tanner, you find yourself horrified with your decision, so you leave. You run farthest. You run all the way back to your sister, back to Kiva. And you dare not tell the story. Holly, you wait for Andy. But it never happens. Andy simply sits there. He sits there and he looks, maybe even cradles Rhys's body, of the friend he thought he had and the friend he killed. The friend that invoked so much punishment and caused so much pain, even indirectly. And Holly, you get this dreadful feeling that not everything is right. And the last shot we see is a close-up of Andy, wishing that someone would pat him on his head, give him a hug, and make it feel okay, as you fall out of your darkest self. And you do feel that warmth. You feel someone wrap their arms around you. And you hear Rhys whisper in your ear, "It's okay, Brother Walsh. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Always." And that ends Mantra, a 2-part Monsterhearts story. Thank you everyone for joining me today in what was a gory, violent, and honestly really fucking emotional game. I hope all my players had fun today and had fun over the past course. I hope you built a grand Monsterhearts story with me. A story that I feel like could not have been told on any other channel but this one. A story that has never been pushed this far. I feel like we really pushed Monsterhearts to what it could truly be and to right off the fucking grid. And I thank you all for that. I thank you to everyone that watched it, that stuck with the content. I hope it made you feel something, whether it made you feel angry, maybe it made you feel disgusted, or maybe it made you feel invigorated. Honestly, as long as you felt something you stuck around and watched, that's okay with me. And there's nothing left to do but to roll out the red carpet for our cast. And we give them some plug time. First off, before we continue, how's everyone feeling? And I think let's everyone on 1, 2, 3.
I need a nap.
Yeah. Let's give a on the count of 3. Let's give a nice deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Refocus our inner chakras. Follow the mantra well. And I'm gonna go in reverse order this time from what I started. Starting with Wes. Please tell everyone what you got going on.
Hi, my name is Wes, or Brother Wes. I'm with Carrying Comfort Studios. And thank you, Nick, for having me on here. I love Monsterhearts, and I love doing different things with Monsterhearts and subverting the trope. So this was sick. I also love Bring Me the Horizon, so this was sick too. There's a lot of great stuff coming up, and I'm sure Leslie can tell you about some of it. But I'll tell you about Saturday. We have the wonderful and talented and enigmatic and incomparable and
some of the words starting with Val.
All of that stuff. Zachary Valdo is running a Vampire the Masquerade V5 one-shot that is set in Nashville called Murder on Music Row, and it is a blood hunt one-shot. So if you have always wanted to see that one part of Vampire the Masquerade that seems to get a little bit looked over. It gets talked about. It gets hushed and whispered in the halls of Elysium, but nobody ever really pulls it out until it's at the last moment. We've got a bunch of wonderful players that are going to be playing with us, including Leslie, Charlie, Oz, Samantha McClarty, as well as Kay, and you can see them all on a bunch of wonderful things. But go ahead and check that out. Sunday, we've got Crack the Sky. It is our penultimate episode. And then next week, we have our own Monsterhearts game starting on Thursday, Comfort County High, which I will be playing in. And it's going to be run by Natalie Pudum of Charm Person Games. So if you want to check out, I'm not going to say my skin just yet, but if you want to come check it out, I'm playing a very different character. So one might say the opposite of this character. Then you can go and check that out. And follow at Brother X West. That's right below me. And then at Comfort Carrion. Check out our Discord, all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stop talking now.
So I'm Leslie. You can find me at Twitter at the handle below my face. Like Wes said, I'll be in the game on Saturday. But before that, you can see me Friday for Kingdom Hearts Interstitial War, where you'll see Zach again, reprising his role. I'm sure Nick will talk more about that. And then, of course, Sunday, Crack the Sky. But I also do a podcast. I do a video game podcast called Hot Garbage Gaming. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. And actually, starting hopefully Saturday, you'll be able to catch up on a couple of the shows on Carry and Comfort, because we're going to start doing those as podcasts that I'm editing the audio for. So starting Saturday, you can start getting caught up on Iron City by Night, just in time for the next season.
Awesome. And I'm going to skip Ian because Ian's Gehenna Gaming, and so we should go last. Ellie, come on, tell us what you got going on.
Thank you guys so much for a amazing first game of Monsterhearts. This has really set the bar for me. I think I'm going to go into other games expecting
And people are going to think I'm the edgelord at the table. But this was super fun. This was super exciting. And I got to kill my boyfriend. So, but yeah, I am the storyteller for ATL by Night. You can find us every Tuesday on Twitch at twitch.tv/ATL by Night. We are currently in our off season doing our postseason interview show and family game night. And we have a new little show coming up that is a catch-up show. So if season 5 is going to be your first season with us, we will soon have a show that will help you get up to speed before you start season 5. And it's really cool. It's really exciting. We're super happy with it. This coming Wednesday, the 7th, I will be on the Vampire Interprets, but it's this time the Redhead Vixen Interprets, a Women in Gaming panel, and that is Wednesday, April 7th at 5 p.m. Central. I had to write it down for me. twitch.tv/TTRPG_theater. And you can find me there with some amazing people like Samantha McLarty and other fantastic folks. And soon, I won't say details, but we have a very special vampire Western 2-shot coming up featuring some amazing figures of the D&D community and some familiar faces to folks here, but it is a 2-shot that will tell a legend from the Anarch side and from the Camarilla side. So we'll be seeing how the two sides interpret their own history. But it's going to be very fun. I'm really happy to run it. And I think that's all I have.
All right, Ian, why don't you get us caught up before I do my huge plug?
Your huge plug. No, I'm Ian from Gehenna Gaming. It's been fantastic being as creepy as I possibly could be. Nah, it's probably not true. I probably could have notched it up just a little bit, but no. And getting murdered by my girlfriend and threatened to be eaten by Leslee and
I just wanted your pinky.
Again and again and again. Hey, you know what? It's really hard to kill a Hydra when you don't cut off all its heads, so...
We made you into Reese's Pieces.
You did. But no, we have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. We've been ironing out our production schedule, so Saturday Night One-Shots are kicking back off. We have a bunch of really good games coming up on Saturdays. We have, I believe, the finale of Gehenna Valley this Monday.
Yes.
With some special stuff coming up after that. We have, so many things. More fireside chats on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, we have the finale of Silent Hill coming up this week with some really great stuff following that for Kult. Thursdays, we have a mini-series for Bluebeard's Bride starting up in April, which I'm very excited about because I'm very interested in that game, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. So I'm not playing in it, but I'm going to be watching. And I can't say much more than that just yet. But stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter at Gehenna Gaming. Check out our website. Join our Discord. I'll drop links in a second. Bunch of really cool stuff. Oh, and you can find me over on ATL by Night when Season 5 starts and Carrying Comfort Studios when Season 2 of Iron City by Night starts, etc., etc. So those are really cool places to go to.
Awesome places to go to. I second that.
Take it away.
All right, everyone. Hey, I was your MC today, Nick Francia. You can find me at Nobleman Nick. And wow, where to start where you can find me at. So actually tomorrow I'm going to be over on Carrying Comfort Studios we have 4 episodes left of Kingdom Hearts: The Interstitial War. We're in the what I like to call the finale group of episodes, which is going to be guest starring Zachary Valdo, who is coming back as the fan favorite Doctor Strange. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of lore drop. It's going to set up the finale. Lucian as Ben Solo is probably going to cry and murder someone. It's going to be great. You should just watch it. It's just going to be good. Other than that, let's see what else I have on my mind. So I'm actually coming up with a new project. I've talked about it a bit. It's been pretty much not officially, we haven't officially teased anything yet, but it's been pretty much set on Twitter. I'm going to be running the sequel series to Gehenna Valley, known as Gehenna Academy. Entirely new different series, entirely new different cast. Actually, a complete cast of BIPOCs. It's awesome. We just landed a 4th cast member today, so we're just hunting down the last one out of the application. So thank you to thank you to everyone that has applied. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be a Monsterhearts unlike any other. So, but let me talk about the real reason I ran this 2-shot. As much as it was to introduce my friends and to push Monsterhearts to what it is. Not only am I the stream producer for Gehenna, and I also do a lot of stuff writing for Tabletop in general. So actually, my first product I ever put out was the Forgotten Skins, which you could find over on DriveThruRPG, which is a free supplement where I converted a bunch of the 1st edition skins that didn't get a 2E treatment and bring them up to speed for 2nd edition. It's completely free. It's got about like 10 different skins in it. So it's awesome. Definitely check that, including some of the fan favorites plus skins for the skin, all the skins for the skin list. That being said, I'm actually this scenario, as well as the Hydra playbook. You might be thinking, wow, that's an original playbook I've never played before. That's because it's a part of a new supplement I'm writing called Weird People, Weird Places. This will be a paid supplement. You're going to be getting 4 different new skins, including the Hydra, the Oracle, the Echidna, and the Chimera, and getting 4 different settings. Awesome. 4 new settings with a bunch of custom moves, including Wickerton, which is the setting we just played now with Mantra, or it could be something else. Who knows? You have to buy the book to find out. You're also going to be getting the Academy, which is going to be the setting of Gehenna Academy, as well as a template built off of that for making your own academies. You're also going to get one of my fan favorites, Camp Sparrow, also known as Monsterhearts Summer Camp. Oh my god, that's great. We're taking you off the grid. Also, put it in the 80s. I like putting shit in the 80s. I don't know why. And then finally, we also have what I call the Greenvale Institution, which is my take on the teens stuck in a psychiatric hospital, a la New Mutants, a la Glass Style. So, a lot of awesome settings, a lot of new playbooks to play around. If you're ready to take Monsterhearts off the grid, as I like to say it, I think this is the perfect supplement for you. It will be releasing towards the end of April, early May, so definitely check out. It's done solely by me. I'm the writer, I'm the artist, I'm the proofreader, I'm the layout artist. It's all one-man project, so if you don't mind supporting an up-and-coming indie tabletop developer, please throw your monies my way. I love y'all. But if not, it's totally fine, and I understand. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for taking this journey through Mantra with me. Thank you all again to my amazing cast. It's late. I need to go to sleep. We all need to go to sleep. Let's get the fuck out of here. And remember, censor yourself, because before the truth will set you free, it'll piss you off. Good night, everyone. I love you. Good night.
Thank you, Nick.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Nick. Bye, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Good night, George.
Welcome to Mantra. You are currently number 80 in the queue. Please hold. While you wait, why not consider a light reading or guided meditation? Close your eyes and listen carefully. Imagine you're standing on a beach, water gently lapping at your feet. But now you're sinking. What were you thinking?